Metallic Raised Stencils are pretty hot right now. What is not that hot is the price of Glass Bead Gel. This week we're going to make a Metallic Raised Stencil on a budget, which is actually possible. I will also show you a few tricks how to protect black chalk paint, which can be a nightmare.
Trying to make up your mind like you need more time.
I started with this buffet.
Spend most of mine.
The hardware is gorgeous, and that flat front will give us a perfect canvas for a raised stencil. As usual, we started with cleaning, and for that I used a white lining by Dixie Belle.
It's about damn time you get it right. I'm up all night, you keep pretending that you'll keep fighting.
I also fixed a few scratches with wood filler. Then, when it was dry, I sanded that smoothly. To keep this budget-friendly, we're going with Waverly Chalk Paint from Walmart. I'm using ink, a black color. It's a true black color by Waverly. I poured some onto a plastic plate and gave it a few sprays of water because it's pretty thick paint. The water will thin it down a little and make it much easier to work with. And I only needed one 8-ounce bottle for this, which cost around $6.50. Waverly is very pigmented and a little goes a long way, as you can see it. It has great coverage. I'm always impressed with the coverage you get with this paint with such a low price. I did the second coat once the first was dry, and that's all we need for full solid coverage. Now something no one seems to ever talk about, and that is waxing dark colors, especially black color. Doing this project reminded me why I haven't done a black piece in months. Adding wax to black can be a nightmare, but I'm going to teach you a few tricks that will hopefully help you get the job done. For this, I'm going to use some Dixie Belle black wax. Also, you will need a black t-shirt for this. Yes, that's my secret, a black t-shirt. Dixie Belle black wax also acts as protection, so that will also save us some money. You will have to add your wax on just like usual and rub off the extra with your shirt. When rubbing off the extra, you will have to work a little harder than usual to get it to look smooth. The black t-shirt is a must. If you ever try putting wax on black with anything else, you know why I'm saying this. With little more muscle than usual and some patience, you will be able to get there. Patience, patience, patience. I learned this the hard way, and hopefully now you don't have to. Black shirt is my trick, and you're very welcome.
Less I give, less I give.
The reason I decided to wax my piece before Glass Bead Gel because it will be almost impossible to get a nice smooth finish, nice smooth protected finish with Glass Bead Gel already there, since we're working with black color. If we work with any other color, you're fine. Now that we got our piece painted and protected, it was time for the fun part. Glass Bead Gel, like my favorite part. I have tested out a few cheaper alternatives of Glass Bead Gel, and this is the best one I've found. What makes good Glass Bead Gel is, to me, how many beads are in there. The more, the better. I will leave it linked below, and at the making of this video, it's got a 40% off when you put it in your cart. If it's not on sale anymore, you can get it on Amazon, 8 ounces for about $16. For my metallic, you will need a small bottle of Mother Masters, which will cost around $11. I chose pale gold, and this is more than enough for what we will need. Now we need to mix some Glass Bead Gel with metallic paint.
Hold tight, I can save you from this deep black waters. Pull you in while you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from this deep black waters. Pull you in while.
I just eyeball it till I get this consistency. Look at this yummy gold. This stencil pack at Walmart cost $5 and has everything we will need for this project. I will use the big one for doors and cut out some of the smaller ones for drawers and details. For the Metallic Raised Stencil, you will need to tape your stencil in place and use a spatula to apply it.
All of that is gonna be. I'm leaving the light on if you come back around.
Just cover the entire stencil in bead gel, then wipe off all the extra. The only real trick is to make sure your stencil is held down properly with tape so it doesn't lift. You don't want your stencil lifting as you applying Glass Bead Gel on it. You don't want it, that will create a bad mess. Oh my god, that looks so good. Black with gold, it's like win-win. Win-win-win. One important step is to clean your stencil after every use. If you're going to reuse it, you have to clean it. Otherwise, you're going to apply dirty stencil on your clean piece and that will create mess as well. Honestly, this never gets old. I do a little dance every time I lift the stencil. Like every time, how don't you? It's just so exciting. Every time you leave that stencil, you're like, yes, yes, gorgeousness, yes. I cut out some of the designs I wanted for the drawers. And I did the same thing wherever I wanted. Again, clean it after each use. It's kind of annoying to clean it every time, but if you don't, it will look kind of messy on your second try. You will have to trust me on this. Clean it every time. that will need to dry so it can harden, which will give us time to work on other things like the hardware. One important thing is that you want your surface laying when you're doing raised stencil. For that reason, we put our buffet on its back. If you stencil your piece standing, everything is going to come down. That is going to be a mess. I wanted to paint the hardware with our metallic paint, so we will need to prime it first. For this, we will use a leftover Waverly black paint as our primer. While that dries, I decided to add some metallic paint to some of the detail lines on the dresser. I did with a very small detail brush and some patience. Every time I do this, I just get lost in my own world and lose track of time. I obviously love what I do. I really do. Love my job. After that was done, my hardware primer was dry and I added my metallic paint to it. To protect the hardware, I used shellac. A lot of protection make metallics dull, but not shellac. Shellacs leave that nice shine on there. And once that was dry, it was time to add the hardware back on and to see the results of our work. Oh my god, what a stunner. I just have to say wow. For around $50 to $60, we can get a project like this done. Alright, I really hope you like it. You guys know how I do the little singing at the end. It's like singing. Well, I really hope you like this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next Friday with a new video and more ideas. Bye guys!